months.
Yeah, so you who not know of Mithun is one of our oldest cyclists, what I've been told. Is it correct that you started cycling in 2009?
Yeah, 2009, I started cycling in Kolkata. Basically, there was no one to guide me for cycling long distance actually.
Right.
So, luckily, I got my Guruji in Mumbai, and from Mumbai, my long distance cycling started.
So, like, what was your first endurance? Like, we call it endurance. What was your big number?
Yeah. So actually, the first time when I started cycling, I started with just a simple Hero, 2,600 rupees, a steel Indian steel road bike, kind
Yes,
of like a
we
very
all
heavy
we
bike
all
for now
we
the
all look
standards
at
now.
those on the roads and we all are like, what is this?
Exactly. So no aluminum, basically full steel. Of course, it's a lovely bike. And then I started doing 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers. Very slowly I started. And then by the time like I did started doing 50 kilometers. And the interesting part was that I got hooked into cycling because of the first cyclothon in India in 2000, I think 9 or somewhere around that in Bangalore. So I saw 5,000 cyclists at a point at the same place. So and it was an amazing experience. I got really hooked, and then I started finding the cycling clubs where I will get guidance. And luckily, one Mr. Satish Patki of my Guruji who was supposed to be, so he started guiding me online. And then one fine day in 2010, when I left my job in my corporate office at ICICI Prudential, I was a life insurance underwriter. A full day desk job, can you imagine? And so I just left my job and I was wandering here and there. And then he gave me a call that I want to start some long distance cycling in India. Can you come and help me? I said, yeah, sure. And I packed my cycle and I went to, by train, I went to Mumbai. And there I saw a 50-year-old guy, just cycling to VT station in Mumbai, and that's the first time I was in Mumbai also, and he guided me to his home. And the best part about touring or cycling or adventure sports is that totally unknown people accept you on your face value. Like they just let you in. That is the best part. And I have heard that Mumbai is a very big city and busy city. People don't have time for each other, but I totally found that. It was just the opposite, and I got all my best friends, best cycling buddies in from Mumbai. And one thing I want to say, the rooms are very small in Mumbai. हाँ, बहुत छोटा घर है, लेकिन दिल बहुत बड़ा है वहाँ का लोगों
Yeah.
का. So amazing support I got there.
Yes, and again, like for us, people from Kolkata, kind of a second home. Every time you walk past, you
Yeah.
feel. And this has happened to me multiple number of times.
Yeah, Mumbai, Pune. Yeah,
Yes.
Mumbai and Pune, both side I got a lot of care and support and guidance. And because of this long distance cycling, I also you get to know the nitty gritties of how to handle your own cycle.
Right.
I still remember that I didn't knew anything about gearing. I was cycling on the Khadakwasla climb, so in Pune, and my friends told me, why are you going on a very high gear and you're stopping every 5 minutes and then again, going ahead. So just go on easy gear. So the day I did that, like 6 months, it took me 6 months to understand the value of a gear, so and the cadence and everything. So it was quite funny that like after 6 months only I got to understand the value of gearing and nutrition and hydration. So these are the points where it was amazing, in a group cycling, because there are so many knowledgeable people when you are into group cycling and they guide you.
Right.
So that was amazing. Mumbai Pune was amazing. Yeah.
So Subhratinga, you want to
Yes, Mithun, so there are
I can't
lots.
hear your audio. Can't hear you.
in the west exactly
One
now?
second. Can't hear you. Okay, right now I am in the 𝘾𝙮𝙙𝙡 cycling camp, so you can see the banner of Youth
Yeah.
Hostel Association of India. Right now I am the Youth Hostel Association of India's cycling officer. I take care of Pan India, any programs where in the national level we do the cycling programs. So we do conduct a lot of cycling programs all over India. You can see our tents. You can see the cycle spare parts. As of now, there are around 40 cycles we have brought in this camp. You can
Nice.
see the cycles being repaired, and finally they will be put in the boxes, cartons, and sent back to our store in Kullu. You can see our mechanics, Tiwari ji, Avinash, all working hard on preparing the cycles. So yeah, so all over India, like from Himachal to Ladakh to Uttarakhand to lot of places, Goa, East Coast Road, Chennai. So there are a lot of places we are having camps all, and every day there is a every time there is a new camp every year we do. Like this year we are starting with Sela Pass
Okay.
as a new program. So Sela Pass Guwahati to Tawang. So that is also happening in March 13. So already we have around 40 riders who have already signed up for the expedition. So it's an amazing trip which is going to happen in March, and really happy that I'll be going back to this place where I already spent 1.5 years working in National Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports. And yeah, that's the t-shirt I'm wearing from Nimas, gifted to me by the institute. And so it's an amazing place. We'll be going in March. Very a bit tough expedition because the climbs are really good, and the altitude is also like around 13,700. We'll be crossing at Sela Pass.
That's lovely. That's really lovely, Mithun. And can you just tell us about how a rookie, how a bicycle enthusiast can start touring? How can he or she start planning about bicycle touring?
Okay.
So
So
what is the because Cyclology is a group of people of endurance riders and bicycle
right,
enthusiasts who want to be bicycle travelers. So can you just give
right,
one
right,
or two
right.
points for them how to start touring?
Yeah, sure, sure. So actually, it depends like what kind of touring they want to do, and so like it is like or what areas they want to cycle actually. So because the Himalayan expeditions will be totally different from the plain, the sea level expeditions or where there is not much of a climb. So accordingly, one has to prepare because in the Himalayas, if you want to tour, it is really a lot of taking care of your clothing, your weather prediction, the month you are going for the expedition. So these will definitely matter in the Himalayan expedition or wherever you want to cross Himalayan, touch Himalayan states like Kulu Manali, Ladakh, Arunachal, Darjeeling. So all those areas, Assam over Assam, or maybe northeast that side, Meghalaya. So, but basically the start should be that one should know his or her own body properly, like how much the person can cycle in a day. So that all can be done in the wherever you are staying. What you can do is you can start slowly. It is not that in a day that every day you have to do very long kilometers. I tell everyone that you should start slowly. You minimum 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers you start, and then you go to 50, then 75, 100. So by slowly starting, what will happen? You will get the practice of sitting on the saddle for a long time, because touring sometimes it is you are cycling for a whole day, maybe even into the night sometimes, like depending on the route you have taken and the destination you have to reach. There may be some landslide on the way, there may be some roadblock on the way. So you also have to get prepared accordingly, that maybe the whole day you have to cycle. So
Okay,
sitting on the saddle, there are two types of practice. One is what I do is one, I go for very long distance cycling.
right.
So very long, like 100, 200, 200 kilometer cycling I go in a day. Like I start from my home, I touch Bay of Bengal, the Bokhali, and then I come back within 11 to 12 hours.
So how long is Bokhali from your place? Like how many kilometers?
240 kilometers around.
Okay, so you
Sorry,
cover
not
it in a
240,
day.
it's like 100, 240. Yeah, 240 two way, 240 two way.
Okay, okay. So both ways it is 240. Okay, and
Yeah, both
and is
ways
there
combined is 240.
and is there any particular cycle or a geared cycle or non-geared cycle? Is there any preference for the riders? What about the accessories
So
that you could look at?
yeah, so that will also be depending on the rider, what kind of ride that person is going to do, like in which terrain. Like suppose you are going in proper like off-roading roads where the roads are really bad, then definitely you can go for a like kind of a like MTB, or maybe a steel bike, steel kind of bike. So
Okay,
that totally depends on the budget of the person. I would we cannot I cannot force somebody, नहीं ऐसे जा रहे हो तो MTV लेकर जाओ या तो gravel bike लेकर जाओ. So I think that is a very personal preference, but ideally the road condition has to be taken into consideration. If you take a road bike and you go to very bad roads, you will not enjoy the trip. You will ride, but कहीं धक्का मारना पड़ेगा. You have to push your bike somewhere. You have to, take it on your shoulder or with heavy luggage and everything. That is even not possible because you're touring. Your cycle will have some pannier bags or some kind of, saddle bag. So depends on the route actually. What kind of route you are going for. So if it
Yeah,
is majority is a bad, poor condition,
yes.
so
So
I
now,
would
now,
ideally
since
Yes,
we are
one of
talking
our
about pannier bags and saddle bags and all these
Mhm.
things, so what are the stuff like you carried in your tour to Southeast Asia in 2019-20 before the COVID
yeah,
pandemic struck us? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what are the accessories? What are like the tents or saddle bags or pannier bags? What did you carry, or what should someone carry for like you did 4,000 kilometer over 4 months in those
Right, right, right,
just pre-pandemic times. So what are the stuff
right,
that
right.
I or someone need to carry?
Supratim,
So yeah,
I'll just pause you for a minute. One of our viewers has a question regarding backpacking in Northeast. What is the best
okay.
self-standing, easily available in India tent you have used?
Self-standing tents depends. Like in India, it's actually mostly we go to Decathlon. So it's otherwise you have to import if you want really a good. Can you hear my audio? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah. So okay. So depends. Like if you are going solo. So ideally, if it is a two-man set, like two people are going or it's a group going, then maybe a bit heavier tents can be taken because somebody can take the outer of the tent, somebody can take the inner of the tent. Somebody
Right.
can take the fly sheet. So that can be done. But if you're going solo, then I would ideally go for a very light tent. But again, the lighter the tent, the budget has to be increased. So it
We
depends
have
totally on the.
we have another question from one of
Okay.
very dear riders. That's the deep dive basic requirements for participating in YHAI expeditions in high altitude, and what expedition do
Okay.
you suggest to start with?
Okay. So, if high altitude expeditions one needs to start, ideally what we do is we ask people to come for our basic camps. Like, if the person is totally new to mountain biking, then the person has to come at basic camps like Manali cycling, or like right now we have 𝘾𝙮𝙦 cycling here, where I am right now in 𝘾𝙮𝙦 area. I'm at 𝘾𝙮𝙙𝙡𝙪. So that is a very low, less elevation and less kilometer cycling. So what we do, we start by basic camps. We give the taste of mountain biking to all our new riders. Then you can come to Jalori Pass cycling camps, or you can come to the Lamayuru cycling camp, which is at around 13th, which is the highest, which starts at around 11,000 feet, 10,000 to 11,000 feet. Lamayuru cycling camp, or we call it also as Leh mountain biking camp. So that is mostly all there in our website called www.yhaindia.org. So YHAindia.org is the website where we put all our programs, and it's also also what you can do is you can come to like new camps which we are planning in Northeast. Maybe we will have some camps in Darjeeling also, so that the east or east zone people can easily access Darjeeling.
Okay,
So that also is in our mind.
that's good.
Okay.
Uh, so, so just tell us in one or two lines, like what are the. Of course, we have talked about bikes. We have talked about the adventure gears that we need, the bike accessories we need. But what about the mental thing, like that mental strength you need? So how do you do that?
That is, you just have to start. The main mental thing, what one or two things which are very prominent, which I see in new bikers or people who start touring, is one is that when the climbs come, when there is a climb, usually people, where there is a plain area, they are coming from a plain area, sea level area. So what happens is the moment they see a climb, they get very demoralized, or they are a climb aa gaya, ab kya kare. So the best part to fight that fear is to go and climb near your area regularly, wherever you find a climb.
Right.
and you have to do it. With a very, like, you don't have to look up. What I tell my people who are coming for cycling in the camps, that don't look very up. Just look at the first hairpin bend and do 20 pedaling non-stop. Count in your mind 20 times that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
That 20 pedals you do. Don't stop before 20, 25 pedals. Again, repeat the same thing after you complete it. And you don't have to race. See, touring is not about racing. So the
Right.
best part is you don't have to race against anybody. So if you have a mindset, I have to race, I have to finish this, I have to upload on Strava, then that becomes more of a, it becomes in the mind, in the subconscious, it becomes a block. It becomes, demotivating. So
Right.
one doesn't have to race. One has to go on their own pace. Always remember, go at your own pace. Even if your friend is going ahead, you have to go on your own pace. You don't have to race with somebody. Best part. And the other thing is just enjoy the route, talk with people, sing songs on the cycle, eat the local food. Just say hi to anybody, any stranger. Just say hi to anybody. So every time I'm cycling in such a difficult situation, I just talk with the local people, and the local people are so helpful. They are always motivating you, always motivating. They're cheering up or giving me a thumbs up. You know, so that itself, that one smile, one small smile, is enough for me to pedal even another 10 kilometers without any, hassles or any,
Right.
tiredness.
So another
So, and
another question, another question was asked by one of our cyclists, Pinaki, that how do you overcome rains if there is lots of rains or something like?
okay,
How do you overcome that during your solo
yeah.
adventure,
So,
your solo trip?
solo adventures.
Right.
So I already know what my setup is on the bag. So accordingly, I have some back covers with me, and so those bike. And also, what I do, I pack my whatever clothes in already in a layer of plastic bag or something, which is waterproof, and that is put into the bag. So even if the cover is not sufficient, or the cover somehow leaks, so what happens, directly the water does cannot touch my clothes.
Okay.
Even if like
That's
I'm
good.
crossing a water stream, and I like in suppose you're going to Ladakh, and you are crossing a water stream, and you slip on the, because the river crossing, the water crossing, stream crossings, the nala crossings are sometimes very tough. There is a huge amount of water, cold glacier water, which is coming and hitting your tires and your feet and everything, and sometimes you may get disbalanced. So if you lean and if you fall, then your whole bag is getting wet, right? So it is not that your bag will always support your, it may be waterproof, it not be so much waterproof. So once it falls down, for how much time it is on the water, by the time you get it up, your bag is wet, and inside everything will be wet. So better to pack your things into smaller bags which are waterproof, and then pack it into the whole bag. So in that way, even if there is a heavy rain, there is heavy like fall in the water, your clothes are not going to be wet, not a chance of getting it wet. So that is one of
Another
my strategies.
Okay. Another important question asked by Nilanjan is that how to overcome the tire puncture issue. So people we have,
Acha.
so I mean, lots of our riders, they have faced that kind of, I mean, tire puncture is very common. So in a remote
Very
area,
common, very common.
like in an adventure that you are doing on your own, how do you overcome that?
Hmm.
So do we all have to learn how to repair our basic bike things like tire
Definitely,
deflectors?
definitely. I tell everybody, like, your cycle, for me, like, my cycle is my girlfriend. Okay. So, so you have to love your cycle as much. So you have to know each and every parts of the cycle, how to repair it, how to open the cycle, how to change a brake wire. Normally, what will happen is, mostly in a touring, is your brake wire, your gear wire may get cut, and most commonly your tire puncture. So if your tire puncture is there, you at least should know how to open your, tire, and just check for yourself, like, what is the issue, where the nail or the small, sometimes very small metal strip is embedded in the tire. Now, even if after you repair, put a new tube, and you put your tube in the tire, it will again get punctured.
Okay.
So you have to check the whole tire. You have to know ideally where the puncture was in the tube. So correspondingly, where the tire has got punctured. So you have to check the tire also. And
Right.
nowadays there is a lovely technology called tubeless technology. Those who can afford it, you can go for it, because yeah, sometimes it is very easy to, even after getting punctured, it keeps on going. You can just fill up air, and then you can keep moving.
We
So
had
that is it. But I'm telling everyone that,
yeah.
yeah.
We had another question is that what is the highest altitude that you have ever touched on the cycle,
Yeah,
on the saddle?
on sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is 𝘾𝙗𝙙𝙗𝙗. That is 𝘾𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗.
Okay. So for someone probably maybe in Tamil Nadu or maybe in Odisha, so if he or she wants to go to 𝘾𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗, we have talked about the preparation. So what about the health
Right.
issues that he or she might face? So
Yeah,
how do
yeah.
you overcome that?
So yeah, exactly. That is a very big issue because you are going to 𝘾𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 not only just cycling. You are cycling across 5 passes, almost 13. The Rohtang Pass, Baralacha, then your Gata loops. All those Tanglangla. So there are a lot of passes you have to go on, and so if your body is not fit, if your body is not able to take the strain, so it is, the first 2 days we have many riders leaving the expedition because they were not fit. They were not prepared for the expedition. How do you prepare for it? So there are two things. One is your physical preparation, where you already do some stretching exercise in the morning before cycling. You go to proper strengthening exercise for your core, like you can do planking, you can do sit-ups, crunches, then your shoulder should be strong because the whole day you are climbing maybe 15-20 kilometers uphill. So your handlebar you're holding, because lot of cyclists do the mistake that only my leg should be powerful, only my lower body should be powerful, but it's a very wrong concept. You have to have, for the Himalayan climbs or the very high altitude climbs, your whole body from upper body to lower body and your core, everything has to be in a good shape and fit for the high altitude, because once high altitude sickness sets in, it's the only solution of getting recovering is going to a low altitude area. That means your expedition is over. Basically, you have to go to Delhi to recover. I've seen people almost, they're having high altitude pulmonary edema. There are two types of sickness which happens: HEPO and HECO. So
Right.
that is cerebral edema and pulmonary edema, high altitude. So I've seen people, their lungs filling with water, and the immediate only solution was from they first taking to Leh, and immediately from Leh they were flown back to Delhi. So if you are not very fit, and also the thing, even if you're fit, that doesn't also give 100% guarantee that you will be fit on the expedition. From day one, you have to get acclimatized first in Manali for 2-3 days, and then only you have to start the expedition. And while doing the expedition, also you have to keep drinking water properly, hydrating yourself, and you also have to eat food. Some people, what they do, I'm not hungry, because in high altitude what happens, sometimes you don't feel hungry. So what you have to do is you have to force feed yourself, that even if you're not taking the solid food, at least you are having dal ka pani, you are having dalia, all those
Right.
soup. So anything, bonvita, so anything which chai, so anything which fills your stomach. So in empty stomach we are never there in the high altitude. High altitude demands you have to have food and water at the right time,
Okay.
and sleep.
And
The other thing is sleep.
yes, and another thing, because we are running short of time as usual, because there is no,
No.
I mean, we can just talk for hours with Mithunda. Mithunda is
Hours, yeah, yeah, yeah.
as
Yeah, right.
Cyclology has just said that Mithunda is one of the top touring riders in the country. So just to wrap it up, in a word, in just a word, how do you want to describe cycling as a traveler or a touring cyclist? How do you want to describe? I mean, what is the best point he or she can enjoy?
Very difficult question. One line, 2 lines, but I will try to sum it up. It is like, the when I'm cycling, the ups and downs what I get in cycling is just like the ups and downs of life.
Good, good, very good. Yeah,
So it is just, parallel to life. What When I do cycling, I feel like I'm meditating or doing yoga, and the ups and downs are part of life. So if you see an up and you just sit at the base of the climb, then neither you will progress in life, neither you will progress in your cycling. So try to take challenges, try to fight the challenges, know yourself. The best thing is about cycling that you get to know about yourself in deep, because if you don't know yourself, you will not know where you want to go, what makes you happy, what brings happiness to you, I tell everyone, just if you know what brings you happiness, then just do that thing. Exactly.
True.
So very, 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 it will make you more happy in life. And the best part about cycling is you become a kid, right?
So one last question. One last question that I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
before I go to psychology admin. One last question is that
Uh-huh.
what is your next trip as a kid? What is your plan?
Yeah, as a kid, of course. So the next trip is going to be Sela Pass expedition, Guwahati to Tawang cycling expedition in March 13 to March 23rd, and that is going to be amazing because I have been in that part of Northeast for 1.5 years, training with the Indian Army for as their mountain biking instructors in National Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports. And so there it is a very good place, very beautiful valleys are there, so much flora and fauna is there. Like last time I went for the recce of the expedition, 1 hour I was just taking photos of the butterflies. There are so many butterflies and birds and animals all around. So if you just go for the expedition, it will be an amazing sight. And right now there is I think Dirang has got a lot of snowfall, which has never happened in many years. It is totally white now. I saw the photos and I'm so happy to see Dirang again. And Sela Pass will have snow and ice when we cycle up on Sela Pass on around March 19th. We will be cycling up to Sela Pass.
Okay, okay, that's great. Psychology, do you have any questions from our viewers, from the
No,
audience,
we
for
have a
Mithunda?
good few number of questions. Pure ridiculous asks, pitching tents while touring, mostly mingling with the locals help.
Can't hear your question. Hello, psychology.
It was, does mingling with the locals help you while pitching tents?
Oh, it is definitely a big, help because sometimes you don't even have to pitch a tent. The moment you come to a village and local guy, like last time I was cycling in Tirthan Valley, I was totally alone in the kind of lockdown time in April in 2021. So I had gone for a recce of the route of Jalori Pass for Youth Hostel Association of India, which is again a very beautiful route we do in May. This year May we already have that Jalori Pass Tirthan Valley cycling route. So I was cycling 17 kilometer uphill, and at the end of the road where there is no other road, I found a guy and he told me that you come and stay at my place only.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't have to do anything. Basically, if you talk nicely.
Yes. Mr. Bharat, great experience. Your guidance, Mithun. After late,
Yeah.
the next challenge.
I can't hear you. Can you repeat?
Mr. Bharat Thakur is asking. Mr. Bharat is asking. It's a great experience riding under your guidance. After late,
Oh, thank you. The audio is getting cut. Hello.
Mr. Thakur is asking, what is the next challenge after Leh? I believe you've ridden with him. You've
Okay.
ridden with him.
Yeah. So after Leh, like in altitude, he's asking, or is he asking about the difficulty level? Is he asking about if the difficulty level? Then we have a surprise. We have a.
What would you recommend for him?
Hello. After Leh.
Yes.
So after Leh, it's one of the very high motorable roads we have. But I think by this June we'll have a surprise for everyone. Due to some official things, I cannot disclose it right now. But we have a plan, very big plan, and I will definitely share this on every platform we have in Youth Hostel page definitely. And please wait till I think another 1 month, and we'll be posting the details of that expedition.
Right. And Shoykot Das from Kolkata is asking, how should a solo rider plan for security issues like snatching in deserted routes? I believe Shoykot Das
Okay.
We have people from Kolkata who are thinking of doing solo tour.
Okay. So see, actually, when I start cycling, no, I already am. Already we are into the thinking or belief that everyone will be good with us, especially the cyclist. Especially with the cyclist, everyone will be good. So we start with a very positive thought. And what happens on the road, you just have to be a bit careful. Like suppose you are already into the knowledge. Can you hear about the audio? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if you know already, like particular pockets are there which are very famous, but what I feel is that you can avoid the night traveling or the evening, evening area cycling, evening cyclings, late night cyclings in those areas, and you can just stop before that area starts, and then again start in the daytime. That is the only thing, because your route is fixed, or your route. You have to cross that area. So otherwise, it is very difficult that you're solo, and if somebody comes, if you try to fight back, maybe that person is having an a knife, or a, you never know what the person has with him. So I would suggest right away not to, it depends, but better not to fight with the person. Whatever the person wants to take, can take. So just you can go and report to the next police station, or the next, wherever. And otherwise, what I feel, I have been cycling for the last 10 years. Believe me, there has not been a single instance where, somebody I have felt threatened. I have cycled at the night from Hapur and Moradabad to Jim Corbett, this area at night. So, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, yeah, one second.
Yes, we can.
So, I have been cycling through all those areas, and yeah, so I've been cycling through those areas, but ideally, instead of feeling fear, I have always got lot of affection and love on the way. So if you start with a positive note, I think it's very hard. I have not felt it, but otherwise, just avoid the night cycling, or if you know exactly that this pocket is not friendly, so you can avoid that area. Maybe change your route or go in a daytime. That's the only solution. What I think. You cannot fight unnecessarily. You cannot carry a firearm
Yeah.
while cycling, or maybe a lathi or something, and then I'll fight that area. Maybe you are solo and those people are five in numbers. What will you do? Tell me. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Murthy
my.
has one question. I believe this is the last question we have for the evening.
Yeah.
What mental preparation should I take for a month-long cycling tour? What mental
For a
preparation for a month-long cycling tour?
month-long cycling.
Yes. I believe Monty
Okay.
has packed up a
So,
few earned leaves in his organization. He wants to use them.
okay. Okay. Nice. So mental preparation is, you keep on doing your local long distance cycling. Like, set a target that within this week I'll do a long distance cycling of 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers, 150 kilometers. Those kind of cyclings will help you, because once you touch 100 kilometers, the next time you go to do 200-kilometer cycling, you already know that I can easily do 100 kilometers, and your base level is set. So once then again you
Right.
do 200 kilometers, you will know that I will be able to do 220, 250 kilometer cycling in a day.
Yeah. Okay. So Pinaki has one final question. What is our
Yeah.
process if we decide to leave corporate and jump to the enthusiastic world of cycling as a professional? So Pinaki wants to
Okay.
get his job.
Okay.
I
So
did not.
yeah,
I did not
there
want
are.
to. I did not want to ask the personal question to Mithunda. But okay, since Pinaki has already asked it, please reply.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So see, there are uh, very very difficult, because when I started cycling, everybody was every relative was asking me, "अरे पैसा नहीं मिलेगा इसमें, कोई पैसा नहीं आएगा." There is very few chances, options in this. But I through thick and thin, I held on to my belief that since I love cycling, so whatever I get, I'll try to be in this line, whatever I'm getting. So money was not exactly an issue for me at the start, and so I started learning more about cycling, and finally today, the passion for cycling is growing every day. It is not that आज से 5 साल 6 साल पहले था और अभी नहीं है. Every day I just want to
Right.
cycle, in the beautiful routes. So,
So
but in India, I'll tell you frankly, there is a bit limited option for cycling as a professional thing, because there are very few companies who are into organizing cycling programs, cycling adventure programs. So it's a bit difficult, but of course you can always start your own setup.
right. So like cycling as a professional has to be like as an entrepreneur.
I can't get you cycling.
Cycling as a professional has to be entrepreneurial.
Has to be auto.
Entrepreneurial, like you'll have to set up your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
gig.
yeah. That can be done. That can be done. That can be done. So you have to find the right investor because it's also expensive. Because if you have to buy cycles, the average cycle what you get is around 25-30,000. So
Yes,
if you just have to have a fleet of 10-15 cycles, so already 3-4 lakhs are gone.
fair enough, fair enough. Anyways, like we in
Yeah.
Kolkata, we started in Kolkata. Cyclology has started out in Kolkata. We are trying to, conduct 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers every month. I think in March
Right. Right.
we have a 300 kilometers coming up on the 19th, and like we try to
Wow.
do it.
Super.
We try to do it as a team. You have road cyclists
Right.
going fast and in the lead, and then you have the MTB cyclists, the you know less faster cyclists falling behind, but also in a group. So everyone starts together, and
Right.
groups try to finish together so that no one is left behind.
Right. Right.
So like it's like cycling should be like a wolf pack.
Right, right. Yeah, group cycling, people, jo new people who are coming, they should get support from the, better rider or better, or even the riders who are already experienced. So if they handhold the new riders, what happened with me? So I expect every experienced riders to, it is not always about your speed. Sometimes if you go and help the new riders, one day definitely they will be at your speed, and they will always, and in turn they will also help the new riders one day. So it is a community, it is a brotherhood or sisterhood, you can say whatever. So it's a family. Cycling is a family, what I feel. And everyone should help each other out. Sometimes we are cycling in Himalayas and there is a group from some other group which is cycling with us. I have told them that seat height theek karo. I have repaired their pedals, like pedal khul gaya hai. So it is at the high altitude, everyone is like a friend, or a, cyclist is a cyclist for me that time. So can't differentiate that time. And also there are a lot of foreigners who are coming there for right now because of virus, because there is less chances, but a lot of foreign people also come to Himalayas, and a few people also came for our youth hostel cycling, and they had an amazing time with our youth hostel setup. So I'll also request everyone to go to our website, www.yhaindia.org, and they can see all the cycling programs, and also we have trekking programs, family camping programs, sightseeing programs. All over India, we are having a amazing setup. And the best part is our prices are the price for coming for cycling. Just for example, the Jim Corbett cycling program is just 8,000 rupees, including your cycle, which is Trek, which is including Trek, even Scott, Firefox. All those good brands are there. Geared cycles and food, sleeping bags, everything is provided. Guidance, routes, everything is provided. So I would request everyone to take advantage of Youth Hostel Association programs at this rate, and the amount of learning what we do in Youth Hostel cycling programs is amazing. Yeah.
Supratimda, would you like to wrap this up for us?
Yes, thank you, Mithunda, and for your exactly, I would say, key tips, the tips that we all want from a pro rider. And you have been riding across the country, across the world for last, what, 15, 20 years, almost 20 years. So best wishes for your new ride, for your upcoming rides also. And of course, we'll try
Thank you.
to join. I am a life member of Youth Hostel, but there are lots of other people who have not tasted the kind of adventure that you'll get in a youth hostel, any expedition, not only cycling. It can be trekking, it can be sailing, it can be family camping, anything. I have not done my family camping yet. But whoever wants to join the biking expedition, the cycling expedition, Mithun Das is always there for you guys. And even if you are not part of youth hostel, Mithunda is always there to help you out. His handle is Ithaka Journeys. That is on Facebook as well as on Instagram. Everywhere it is the same ID, isn't it, Mithunda?
Uh, yeah, so actually Instagram, it is Ithaka Journeys,
Right.
and on Facebook it will be Mithun Das only.
Okay.
You can tag me in the Instagram page, or you can message me in the Instagram page. I can
That's
share
great.
my page with everyone.
That's good. Thanks a lot, Mithunda, for your tips, for having with us on this Sunday afternoon. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Enjoy your
So
trip in Corbett.
thank you so much for having me in the talk, and it was nice to share my experience with everyone. And very soon, also, once the COVID stops, we'll have a international tour from Youth Hostel Association of India for Southeast Asia. So then there is a one very high altitude expedition which we are planning in June. So please be ready for these expedition. Keep checking the website, and we'll be posting all the updates, all the programs in the website of Youth Hostel.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank,
Okay,
thank you,
gentlemen,
viewers, and
it was a pleasure
yeah,
talking to the both of you.
yeah.
And Supratimda, thanks for hosting, coordinating. Mithunda,
Thank you.
thanks for sharing your guidance.
Thank you, Pinaki. Thank you so much. And I'll be surely we will also be organizing some few cycling tips in physically. I'll be showing the cycle setup for touring, so we can have another session for cycle touring setup and what are the basics of exactly technical things which will be helpful in touring in for new persons.
Right, we'll be looking forward to all of that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good evening, guys.
Chalo. See you everyone. Take
Yeah.
care. Bye from Jim Corbett Cycling Camp.
Okay.